Hi, good day. My name is Andrea Roll. Just here to share with you today ways in which we as teachers, well, pre-service teachers, can create a positive effect on our students, and also how we can build a rapport, along with ways in which, the importance of allowing students to create group bonds among themselves when teaching the target language. Okay, so firstly, when it comes to allowing students to feel, well, creating that positive effect for the students, it all comes under creating a positive learning environment or a positive classroom climate for the students. And the way that we can do that is by meeting the needs of the students physically, emotionally, and socially. The ways in which we can meet those needs of the students, the physical needs of the students, is by making sure that the physical environment of the classroom is comfortable for them, in pertinence to the lighting, the temperature, the accommodation, the cleanliness of the class. All of that should be to a standard where the students feel comfortable. And also the way we decorate our classroom as teachers, I believe that it should be done in a way where our students have the impression of excitement to learn. It makes them anticipate. I believe that it should make them anticipate coming to the class. If you can, that's what I would want to do. When it comes down to meeting the emotional needs of the students, I believe that first of all, we as teachers must know our pedagogical stance. For me, I would want my students to see me as a mentor, a confidant, someone they can just vent if needed to. Because they have to relay important information to us first before they can be sent to guidance counselor. So I don't believe that we should say, okay, that ain't our job, because we have to know what's going on with our students in their home environment and all that good stuff. So that meeting the emotional needs of the students, that's what it is. So when it comes down to meeting the social needs of the students, I do believe that it is important to, this is actually classroom management, meeting the social needs. Because, so first of all, you have to set your classroom rules. And some of the classroom rules are not just to make your job easier, it's to make the management of the class between the students, to alleviate the conflict in the classroom among the students. So there should be classroom rules like when one student is speaking or answering a question, that all students should be respectful and be quiet and listen, or allow that student to be able to answer without having competition. And also we should have rules where there's no discrimination against cultures and religion and all that good stuff. I'm running out of time. Okay, so what I just discussed with you was meeting the needs of the students physically, emotionally, and when it comes down to building a rapport with our students, let me explain the importance of building a rapport with our students first. When we build a rapport with our students, as us building a relationship with our students, that allows them to feel comfortable in the classroom. It allows them to be receptive to the information that you're giving them. It just makes the process of teaching and learning much more easygoing. However, and that's why we must know how to manage our classroom without damaging rapport. Because if the rapport between the teacher and the student is damaged, the student wouldn't be receptive to the information that you have to give, which then results in them not learning in your class. And that's a no-no. We don't want that. And so, when we build a rapport, we have to get to know our students, know their religion, their cultures, their likes, their dislikes, their interests. All of this information is also important when it comes to yeah, creating lesson plans that will engage our students. Because once we know their interests, their likes, their dislikes, culture, religion, all that good stuff, then we know, okay, what to put in the class, the lesson plan to make them really engaged, or realism of task, stuff that would really engage them. Because if you give them a lesson plan with like, let's just say the development of the lesson plan doesn't have anything that interests them, or even because although we are teaching topics within our subject fields, we have to sometimes relate them to the interests and like the likes and dislikes of our students in order to make the lesson engaging for them. So it's really important to build a rapport, because like I said, it really improves the teaching and learning experience overall. Because once you know your students, you know your clients, you know what you need to present to them in order to get them interested in a lesson. I believe that it's important to allow students to create group bonds among themselves when teaching the target language, so that the different levels of proficiencies can work together. Because if you have someone who is at an advanced level working with a novice learner, that can help the novice learner to become advanced. Or if an intermediate learner, the intermediate level learner helps a novice learner, they can still can advance. And so I believe that can be the reason why it is important to allow students to create group bonds among themselves when teaching the target language. Ways that And so, by allowing the students to work together to help each other, for the advanced and the intermediate level learners to help the novice learner to progress, can help them. It helps build the interpersonal relationships between them. Um, Other ways in which we can enhance or encourage this is by teaching our students that lending a helping hand to someone who is not as proficient as you in the language um, is a good thing. We must encourage them. We can also we can give them extra points, extra, just a reward, because they need that motivation. And so I believe rewarding them for helping students who are not as good or proficient as them is a good idea, and can enhance or make them want to work along with each other. And it also helps with classroom management once the students get along and everything's easygoing.